Welcome to the Great Basin Prescribed Fire and Smoke Transport Briefing for Tuesday, November 21st. Over the last 7 to 14 days, we've seen very dry conditions across the Great Basin this last week. However, over a week ago, we did see precipitation target mainly central areas of the Great Basin up into eastern Idaho, which did bring above normal precipitation. However, still drier spots are eastern Utah and western and far northern areas of the region. Over the last 72 hours, again with very dry conditions, no new snowfall. Our current snow depth is on the right with the highest amounts of snowfall in parts of Idaho and Wyoming. Our snowpack region-wide is well above normal for the time of year. However, we will see some drying conditions here coming in most areas for the next week, but then a much wetter pattern. The satellite loop from this morning shows still the ridge of high pressure is now being pushed east by an incoming air trough of low pressure. That will bring some clouds and precipitation to northern areas for Idaho, Wyoming, and down into northern Utah going towards the middle of the week. And then we will see a stronger ridge build in behind that. So today, still drier conditions. We will see those clouds move in out ahead of that system into northern areas with still low fire potential region-wide. Winds will be light, so we will see again, transport winds light region-wide. Mixing heights will remain low with the ridge in place and stronger inversions. Relative humidity today will be lowest in the far south, where we will see relative humidity into the low teens. Otherwise, higher humidity across the Great Basin. Ventilation index showing poor dispersion, obviously with the lighter wind flow and the low mixing heights. As we move into Tuesday, this trough of low pressure moves into the Pacific Northwest, so it will push more cloud cover into parts of Idaho. Still drier conditions down south. Low fire potential will continue. Transport winds will still remain on the lighter side Tuesday. The system is still well to the west and generally low mixing heights. Relative humidity on Tuesday very similar to what we'll see today with poor dispersion. Looking into Wednesday, this system moves through on Tuesday into Wednesday, so we will see the precipitation track across northern areas again Tuesday into Wednesday, and by late in the day on Wednesday will be over far eastern areas of the Great Basin. So again, low fire potential with this reinforcing shot of some moisture in the north. Winds will be picking up later on Tuesday and into Wednesday as this system tracks eastward, so we will see some gustier winds and higher transport winds over parts of western Wyoming into the higher terrain of Utah and even over far southern areas. Mixing heights will also be rising as this system moves through. Relative humidity on Wednesday still very similar, maybe not quite as widespread, lower humidities in the far south, but still much higher humidities as you go further north with generally poor dispersion. The only areas that will see improving dispersion will be over southern Nevada into parts of Utah. Temperatures will be warming, especially later this week. Still early this week, temperatures near or even below normal across the Great Basin, and we do have that weak system moving through midweek. But later this week and into the weekend is where we'll see these temperatures really start to warm up to near or above normal region-wide. Forecast clearing index for the next few days, low clearing indices for Utah with those lighter winds. We will see some improvement on Wednesday as that system moves through, and we do see winds increase in the higher elevations. No significant precipitation is expected over the next few days, but we will see light amounts of precipitation in parts of Idaho and Wyoming and far northern Utah as that trough of low pressure and cold front move through, going towards the middle of the week. Going towards Thursday, after that system moves through, we will see a stronger ridge of high pressure building. So again, those temperatures will be warming up to at least average, if not above normal, especially over western areas of the Great Basin. We still will see some breezy northerly flow on the east side of this ridge as that low exits for parts of Utah into southern Nevada. So we will see improved dispersion in those areas, but otherwise poor dispersion for northern and western areas of the Great Basin. Otherwise, significant fire potential will remain low going through the weekend. On Friday, the ridge is pushed a little bit further east, but still remains in place across the Great Basin. And then we will see those conditions continue going into the weekend with warm and dry conditions. And then going into next week is where we will see the pattern change, where we will start to see wetter conditions materialize. So no real significant precipitation taking us from Thursday through Saturday, just some light precipitation in the far north on Thursday. And then going into the early part of next week is where we will see the pattern change and we will see better potential of precipitation in the Great Basin along with much colder temperatures yet again. The 8 to 14 day outlook taking us from November 28th through December 4th shows those cooler temperatures and the wetter conditions materializing going into the early part of December. So definitely a pattern change on tap going into next week. That concludes our webcast for today. Check back on Wednesday for the latest updates.